Okay, can you guys hear the normal chatter now? Okay, perfect. You guys, it may be just for my Zoom people really quick. The owl is not connected, so we're gonna do our best to speak into this. And I will do my best to move, but you may not be able to see everything that we have on. The good news is that 99% of the presentation today is based on the slideshow. So if you put your presentation in slideshow mode, you should be great. And if you're missing anything, I'm happy to connect with people afterwards and catch you up. Good? Good?
I mean, there was another one.
All right. If you have anything other than what I know, we'll figure it out. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. All right, there we go. All right. Who do we have? Hey, Sharice. Would you start us with the gong this morning?
Yeah.
Would you gong us in? I would like, yes, thank
Great
you.
founder.
I don't need to know. Those are all things that.
Be gone.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. Move this in the back. Gong privilege. Every week we pick somebody to gong us in because it is my least favorite part of team meeting. And yet it's the most effective way to get everybody kind of focused in on what we do. So thank you all for being here. It is September 19th. We are charging the storm. We're going to dive in together with a handful of celebrations and some different things that are happening. So ready? Are we ready to go? Okay, first. Okay, new tech, you guys. Woo, we did it. Want to congratulate Alan and Becca Jasperson on their first closing as Keller Williams Southwest agent. Congratulations. For those of you who haven't met the Jasperson team, they're a fabulous family group who runs their business primarily a bit south of us. And I want to put this on your radar because we're going to be talking about a little bit of a party for them, just in terms of this will be their, if I am correct, 50th year in real estate. So come anniversary, Christmassy time, we're going to do a little bit of a celebration for their 50th year and then also for their first year in terms of joining the Keller Williams family. So be on the radar for that. This week, we have a lot of events and opportunities for you to plug into. So this is going to be a big detail meeting. But before that, we're going to dive into our mission moment, which we always do. And this is something that you may have heard of before, but I want to reiterate. One of the things that we do is try to find ways to give back to the community on an ongoing basis. So we have a group, actually, this is one of the reasons why I wanted Sharice to be our unofficial gonger this morning. Sharice participates in our serving community, and they set up opportunities kind of throughout the year. And the one that's coming up right in the fall is our food pantry. So we've got the Milwaukee Rescue Mission dates that we can go in and serve the community of Milwaukee. You know, I was on vacation a couple of weeks ago and there was a sign hanging in my cabin that said, if you're lucky enough to be in the mountains, you're lucky enough, right? This kind of resets my frame a little bit. One of the things that got me thinking, right? If we're lucky enough to have food on our table, in a way, we're lucky enough. We're lucky enough to have a roof over our heads. We are lucky enough. And when you are lucky enough, you have opportunity to give. And it's one of the things that always resets our frame, right? Resets our capacity to be grateful and joyful. And that's one of the things that we know underscores a big business. So it's not just, it's not just serving others, but it's also keeping yourself in the right headspace so that you can succeed. So 800 meals a day this group does for the Milwaukee Rescue Mission, 57,000 nights of shelter and 45,000 articles of clothing each year this shelter provides. And we are lucky enough to have signed up. So if you want to participate, there's the QR code. We have shifts where we can come in and serve lunch for these folks from 10:40 to 12:45. Some of these spots are already filled. So if you are interested, October 5th, Sarah Oberbrunner is going to be running the show there with us. October 19th, Sharice and Sarah Joe will be running. And then October 26th, Connie Cummings will be running. So if you have interest in giving back, please do. We look forward to hearing your stories about diving into the community. Good? All right. All right, so with that, we're going to dive into compliance. We've got a pretty heavy compliance schedule. Defender Dawn. My goodness.
GMAR dues, GMAR dues. Sorry. So GMAR dues, just a reminder, GMAR dues there's a timeline that's been emailed out to everybody, I believe. So you guys should have gotten an email with your individual statements. They're doing that this year instead of mailing you the little paper thing where you write a check and you mail it back. Instead, you guys should have all gotten an email Tuesday, September 5th. So check your inbox if you did not make note of it. And then just a reminder that the last day to claim the discount for paying early is October 31st. Last day to pay the dues in the amount that's on the statement is November 30th. And then after that, a $50 late fee is going to apply. So make sure that you're paying these dues. You will need them to be active to maintain practicing real estate. A couple of changes. If you deleted that email that came on the 5th or you don't see it, you can email Michelle at gmar.com. It's not our Michelle, but Michelle at gmar.com. She'll resend that to you. So if you missed that, you don't see it, like just reach out to her. And this year, instead of a check, you can only pay them via MasterCard, Visa, e-check. So they're moving towards digital for their record keeping, for making sure that they're being efficient and secure with payments. They're not going to take credit card payments at the office. So just online is how they're doing them this year.
That discount is just overwhelming.
It's every little bit helps. It adds up. So and then we've had some questions recently about some people, if you're newer in the business and maybe you became a realtor in 2020, 2021, and everybody started waiving home inspections. And maybe you've never negotiated a home inspection. Just a couple of things to keep in mind, because we're getting more questions about defects, about notices versus amendments and what to do. So just in the offer to purchase, they define what a defect is. So it's a condition that would have a significant adverse effect on the value of the property, something that would significantly impair the health or safety of future occupants of the property, and something that, if not repaired, removed, or replaced, would significantly shorten or adversely affect the expected normal life of the premises. Some of you guys may have noticed that in home inspection reports, the inspectors, they're now labeling things as what's a defect, but their definition is a little bit different from the definition that's in the offer to purchase. So in the offer to purchase, we've got those three things. Here, what we're missing is that section that says that it would have a significant adverse effect on the value of the property. So for the home inspectors, their definition is health and safety, or shorten or adversely affect the expected normal lifespan of the component. So they're not talking at all about value. The reason for that is that home inspectors cannot give a judgment of value. They cannot talk about how much something costs. They cannot talk about they can't talk about the value of things. So that's not going to be, there may be something that to the buyer is a defect because it's going to be expensive to fix, but maybe it's something that doesn't have an impact on health or safety directly, or isn't going to adversely, impact or shorten the lifespan of a component. So there may be something that the buyer feels is a defect that the inspector hasn't listed as a defect because the definitions are slightly different. We've got three possible ways that it's a defect in our offer to purchase. Inspectors are not dealing at all with value. So as a listing agent, you may get an amendment, a proposed amendment after home inspection that lists a defect that's not listed as a defect in the inspection report. So if a buyer says, hey, these are my defects, just a quick reminder about right to cure. If the seller shall not have the right to cure, the buyer can negotiate about that resolution using an amendment. And then if no resolution is reached, the buyer can send a notice of defects, transactions terminated. So just a quick reminder shall not have the right to cure. If the seller shall have the right to cure, the buyer can still send that amendment to negotiate some possible remedy to the solution. And then if no resolution is reached, you send a notice of defects, the seller decides whether to cure defects. And then you have the term of, things happening after that. So if they decide to cure defects, a notice is sent back, otherwise a cancellation and mutual release is sent out, and then the transaction's terminated. So just as a buyer's agent, explaining that to your buyer clients, just what happens in these situations, just so that they know and that you feel prepared. If, we can't come to an agreement through an amendment, what happens next? A couple things to keep in mind. Make sure that those inspection deadlines, that you're keeping them top of mind, making sure that you're allowing enough time to negotiate, get estimates and follow-up inspections. If that's something that, especially if you have an addendum AC and you have an amount in there that you're saying, we're gonna not negotiate about the first 5,000, you're gonna need to find out what these things actually cost. If you're proposing negotiations in an amendment, make sure that you insert in that, have the language in there that if this amendment is agreed upon, that the inspection contingency is satisfied. So that way the seller knows that we are done negotiating about home inspection. If you're writing a notice of defects, start by stating something along the lines of, this is a notice of defects, the buyer objects to the following defects, and then list the defects. We're not listing how to repair them. Just as a reminder, it is just the list of defects themselves. Yes, yes.
Have you heard of any issues with referencing the home inspection report? If there's like an abnormal number defect, to say all electrical defects as stated in the inspection report and then attached to the inspection report for reference? I mean,
For a notice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should.
Lenders don't like that.
But for a notice,
It's a notice.
I guess it depends on, do you think they're gonna fix it? Because then we're potentially open, because then it would go to, if we are potentially continuing.
It's a
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah, if it's a notice, yeah, but please don't, and that's a good reminder too, don't reference inspection report in your amendment, because then the lender has the possibility to, with underwriting, may want to see the whole inspection report, and then you may be opening up a can of worms for things that your buyer doesn't necessarily care about. So don't reference that inspection report. And then just remember, because the definitions of defects are different in those, for a home inspector and for a realtor in our offer to purchase, there may be some question about, like, is this actually a defect or not? And remember, as a licensee, you can't determine if something is a defect. If there is an objection that the seller has to something the buyer has said is a defect, then what we need to do is, if they can't agree, then we would be getting an attorney involved. So you'd be relying on the attorney to make the judgment call about whether this is a defect. Question?
For the library, for when you're negotiating.
Yeah.
In it says buyer and seller have both received blank, report by blank. The lenders have told me to take that out.
Okay,
So
I can make sure we edit that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good, send me an email.
okay.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna forget, though.
Oh, shoot, send me a
I'll
text.
send you an email.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. It's gonna be gone. Any other questions about defects, definition of what a defect is, home inspection negotiations? I feel like the people who are in this room are, you guys get it. So, but if there are questions, you can always call the compliance hotline. Someone can help walk you through what your next steps are based on what you've written, based on what's come up, and based on what your seller wants to do or buyer wants to do. Cool, thanks, guys. No, I think it's just good. Okay, I just wanted to.
Okay, you guys, for a very, very hot second, at the very beginning of my real estate career, I was a transaction manager. And yes, I was as bad as you would imagine me to be as a transaction manager. One of the things I love about watching this room is when we had the conversation, oh, it's a notice. A handful of people say, like, I get that. Nobody has to finish what that sentence is. There are people in this room who don't know the difference right now because you're new, okay? This is just my opportunity to plug productivity. If we're talking about things and everybody seems to get it, but you're in the right place. Stay, keep coming, keep asking questions, because it might not make sense right now, but these are the people that will help it make sense for you, okay? And this is how you become a really professional real estate professional, a professional real estate professional. That's the goal, everybody, an RPR or PR, something. The other thing I wanted to say is, as Dawn was describing the different defects that inspectors could call out versus different defects that you will all be dealing with, the fact that it is value. Just a reminder, you are the fiduciary, which means you have a responsibility to help them, to help your client manage their financial transaction, right? So that piece, if you're unsure how to get value, how to set value, how to do a CMA, how to help your people understand their financial experience through this, productivity, training, ask questions. This is your room. These are your people. Okay, make sense? Okay, and we all have to start somewhere. So I will raise my hand that I wasn't great in that, but that's okay. I found my path. You will all find your path. Okay. Kathleen is on her way here. She starts the morning over in Lake Country, and they had a team meeting this morning. She's going to be here probably at the end of this meeting to dive into agent sites. New agent sites have been rolled out. Super exciting. She will have all of the details for you. But I also wanted to share that there are times that are being set up so that you can come to a tech and marketing class and oh, look at here she is. Oh, look at that.
I've never like been in a room with people cheer like that. It's great. Okay.
I'm gonna step away.
Okay. Yeah, guys, new agent sites. Woo! Are we excited? Okay. Please do not transfer over your agent site until you've attended some form of training, whether it's a one-on-one with me, whether you come to our in-person or our Zoom on Thursday. I will be, I think there's some slides here.
Well, she's catching her breath.
Yeah, sorry. I like jogged up the stairs.
Yeah. You guys, agent sites have kind of been the bane of our command existence for a little bit. But as Keller Williams does, we took a lot of feedback from a lot of different people to see what would be the best thing. And they've done everything they can to slow down their process to integrate pieces that work well for the majority of people and implemented them into the command sites. They've been beta tested. We're getting feedback from people that they're working really, really well. There are some things that work differently. So if you are a big user of the sites, they have covered the functionality somewhere. And that's why we really want to encourage you to come in to have a meeting with Kathleen, to join one of the bigger groups to understand how it can be used, because agent sites used really well can help build your business. The other piece I want to say is that I often see agents hiding behind the agent site. So in other words, this isn't working. This doesn't look right. This isn't great. When it's 80% great, and the other 20% maybe you need to work on, right? So what I want to say is a lot of 80% is great. Get it out there, refine as you go, right? Because that's how you learn. Get real world feedback from your clients on what's not working for them and gussy it up. That's fine. But if you find yourself gussying your website rather than doing lead gen or interacting with your clients, your priorities are in the wrong order. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
the biggest thing is that landing pages are no longer a thing. So as soon as you transfer over your site, all your landing pages will cease to exist. So that's why I don't want anybody transferring over their sites until we've had a larger discussion, you've come to trainings and you understand what all that entails, okay? Let's see. It's going to ask you if you want to change your domain. Here's what I just want you guys to understand is that the platform that KWRI created for the new agent sites will allow them to then start to be able to implement those upgrades that everybody's been asking for. So when you first change over your site, it's going to look and feel pretty similar to what you're used to. What you need to understand is that that old platform that we're working off of, they were not able to make those upgrades that everybody asked for. This new platform will allow them to start implementing those things. Does that make sense? So that's the reason for the change right now. So it's going to feel very similar to what you're used to. There are some unique things that we can get into. Landing pages are going away, and make sure you come to trainings, okay? So next week, I plan to have some in-person stuff in here and in Lake Country. You're more than welcome to come to one, both, either.
But this Thursday at 11 a.m. on our normal command training time, Lindsay and I will be doing this on Zoom, which will then also be uploaded to our YouTube channel, okay? So multiple chances to come talk about your new agent site. Exciting.
Okay. And one of the things we use our agent sites for is to promote some listings, right? Promote business and promote conversations with clients. So as all of you know, we had implemented and have implemented a new system to share coming soons. Jeff has some opinions about that I'm excited he's here to share. But look, here we
The
go.
coming soon list, does everybody look at that every week? Does everybody get like excited to see it every week? Okay,
Okay, and no, literally, I know there are no's because I've seen the unsubscribe from it, you guys. Ooh,
Yeah.
and I think it's because people didn't know what it was.
because I've seen the lists get shorter and shorter, and I don't know if it's just the market or if people aren't utilizing it. So do we still have buyers that are competing right now? Okay. This list is huge for that. Not only just for that, but I see value in it with obtaining clients, not just buyers, but with listings. I've actually had sellers sign with me before they wanted to go on the market using this list. That includes for sale by owners, Sphere, expireds, just because it was a value proposition. So it's got some huge potential. This is just kind of like a reminder, like this is out there, and if that list grows, and if you guys even want to mastermind on how I do that with my listings to get them signed with me, before they sign somewhere else, come talk to me. But it's a huge value proposition. So
Huge,
again,
huge. Any questions?
I don't remember unsubscribing, but it sounds like something I would do. Can I get back on the list?
Absolutely. We'll resend it and well, I'll put something on Facebook that this is who it's from. Here's the other thing, you guys, just a little teaser. We've been in the background working on a new internal Facebook, not Facebook, internal internet page, website. Thank you. And in that, we will be putting that list that will live there, so you guys can go check it anytime you need it as well. So we will resend the email so that everybody can subscribe to it again or start opening it again. Seeing it is a great tool. It is vetted to make sure that all of the appropriate and only the appropriate information is shared. And you guys can share it as something that you do to market your properties and to talk to your buyers about. And that will not only live via email, but it will live on that new internet page that's
Will it be
coming.
the same way where you have to get your listings in by like, what is it, Sunday? You have to have-
I-
mean,
Yep,
sometimes
I believe.
forget.
Yep.
I mean, like, it might be Thursday and I'm like, shoot, I forgot to.
Some of once it
Whatever
lives
day
out
it is,
there,
yeah.
once it lives out there, I'm sure the processes will be changing because it's just a different
Yeah, like,
venue.
we'll have access to go in and add.
I think that would be great, like to
Yeah, and
add
delete, 'cause
anytime.
sometimes it goes live and it's still on there. I forgot to message them saying, hey.
Yeah, so what I would ask is if you guys could send that information to me, because one of the reasons we have those deadlines the way we do is to make sure that we can clean it so that we don't get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
There are things that we shouldn't be sharing. And it's great that we have figured out a way to do that. We want to maintain that system in whatever new form we have it. But it would be also great to have more accessibility to that. So both sides, for sure.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. All right, awesome. Awesome. New listings, new business, all of it is super, super important. Just a reminder, winter is coming, right? So this is one of the things that we look at. We are right smack dab in the middle of fall cleanup. It starts in September, October, November. Your database is your data bank. And I don't know if y'all have seen this recently, but we saw that 200 plus entries in your database, 200 plus active contacts that you have phone, email, communication with on a regular basis can yield 100 plus in gross commission for the year. So get on the 201 database club, spend time cleaning your database right now. Because here we go, when you're into fall cleanup, understand who you know and who's in there. And winter renewal. You guys, on this, we talk about this really is the place where we separate ourselves from. Where we separate ourselves from everybody else who says, I'm gonna take the winter off. I'm gonna step back a little bit, right? Because it's hard work to get some business. It's not like summer where it's work, but there are more deals that are happening, right? I will say one of the great opportunities that happens in winter, and we'll be talking about some of these a little bit later, is your opportunity to connect with your sphere, right? Don't be that secret agent if you have a holiday party, if you're invited to holiday parties, if you're sharing times out and about. It's a great way, great time to be prepared to have the conversations about what is happening in the real estate market right now. Because if people know you're a realtor, you got to know they're going to ask. Everybody wants to know about the real estate market. So come armed with a handful of facts. A great response to what's happening in the market right now is, you know, it's really interesting. Why do you ask? What particular thing are you interested in? Right? Because the worst thing you can do is somebody wants to sell or buy their house and they say, what's happening in the market? And you go on and on and on and on and on. And eventually that person just needs another drink because they can't hear you anymore. Right? Let them speak. Let them say what's important to them.
And nowadays with so many people having friends, family, cousins that are realtors, they're asking that question to probably 2 to 6 people. So your answer is going to stand out more so, even more than it would have in the past. They're not just
Absolutely.
asking you.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. So winter renewal, be prepared to do some business in the winter time. It's going to set you up for great success. One of the things we know is that in the spring and summer is when the majority of our business comes. If you're behind now, schedule time with me, with Tina, with anybody on our leadership staff, because it will be challenging. It's not impossible to make up a gap, but it will be a little bit more challenging. I'd love to dive in terms of what are the specifics are for you to hit your goals this year. Because here's the other thing, we're rolling into business planning. So you'll be hearing some information on business planning coming up. And here's the other thing that we know is that when you're successful, we get really, really comfortable, right? And we stop doing some of the things that made us become successful. And when that happens, when we become complacent, all of a sudden, we're not in the same place that we were. And there's a reason for this, right? So James is going to come up here to share a little bit of his journey. But one of the things we know is that we're not very good at connecting what we do with our results. Right? Has anyone heard the term immediate gratification? I kind of live by that. I'm trying not to. But if the result comes immediately after your activities, it's really, really clear usually. In this business, there's a gap. So it's hard to say, oh, I worked really, really hard 160 days ago, and that's why my business is what it is. So we're going to hear from somebody who's had some success in that.
Yeah, this came up because I saw the text this morning that said that August was our best month, right? We're going to talk about results, and August was our best month. And I'm like, hey, I had a great August, and I started off this year really bad. I remember my son was born. I have it here, February 20th. Not that I need to write that down to remember that, but he was born February 20th. Yeah, February 24th. I looked at my log. I had 2 closings scheduled, and one was in May. And for me, that was like, oh my gosh, because last year in March and April, I closed 11 transactions. So I'm like, shoot, can we put this kid back in? I need way more time, right? But I had closed 5. I only had 2 on the board, and I started lead generating like crazy. So I'm like, I'm going to get into this. I'm going to get my rhythm down. Like, I'm really going to dive into DTD2, everything I need to do. And now 90 days to 120, 135 days later, it's coming full circle. By the time Q3 ends in 2 weeks, I'll have 17 closed transactions just in Q3. Wow. And I'll be at 36 closed for the year. And that was huge for me because I was thinking I was going to do like 20 this year. So just know, like, do the work, do the lead generation, and it's going to come full circle for you. That's all I got.
I love that. And frankly, you guys, if it were up to me, we celebrate closings. And I love that we celebrate closings for the client, right? Because it's fantastic. They've gotten there. They've been on a journey. That journey, another journey is starting for them, right? They're either going to move or all that good stuff. I don't think we should ever stop celebrating closings. But the thing I wish that we celebrated every day for the people in this room is, hey, you did your lead gen. Woohoo, right? Because that's what ultimately builds your business. Is your lead gen. Whether it's phoning like I do, texting, sending emails out, having conversations with people, having a bonfire in which you talk about real estate and 1 or 2 gigs comes up, that's a good day, right? And you guys are all super capable of setting what success looks like for you, right? As you create your goals. And again, we're going into goal creating season. Think about what you want to do for next year, but think about is your win the day moment. Put that on the calendar and celebrate that and surround yourself with people who will celebrate that with you. Okay. So we have a handful of things to talk about. A great opportunity to kind of define that win the day moment. Y'all may have heard last week, we launched a little thing called Bold. It is coming back and it gives you some of that structure to ensure that you're doing your lead gen. So it's one morning now. We're going to start about 8. We'll end up about 1 o'clock. But what that does is give you ways to open up that conversation with people. It gives you a support group of other people who are trying to do the same thing. And another word for support group is accountability group, right? There are lists of things that we're going to be achieving throughout that process. And if we do it right, we're going to set ourselves up for a really great spring. So it is not just about the results. It's about the community that you create. About 150 people are going to be in this room, you guys. It's a great opportunity. I love the guys in the back pointing out where they were last year. Nice. Hey, James was here last year. James was in this room. So he knew the math. He knew what he had to do, right? And he has phenomenal results. I will share, not only is it, again, about the results, but we have people from North Shore, Lake Country Innovation, Green Bay, and Madison coming to this room. So if you're working with people from Wisconsin, you're going to have referral opportunities. It's a great way to get to know people kind of throughout the area. Okay. And here we have that's all of us up on stage. I think somebody right after this did a backflip and I thought, good Lord, please don't break your neck. But he didn't. He had great business.
We used to be Bango too.
That's true. He did used to be Bango. So, you guys, I know last year the phrase was embrace the suck. People do not enjoy Bold, but it's good for you. It's like spinach. Okay. So it really does deliver results. And I don't know anything else that delivers it better. Here's the sign up form. We've got a great list going downstairs of people who are investing in themselves. Here are the dates. The October 11th Mindset Systems is something that everybody can come to. Okay. You can register for just 1 day. And I was having a conversation with an agent in the office this morning. Your business is as big as you can imagine. Right? So if you can only imagine a business that generates $100,000, we need to open up your mind a little bit. If you're imagining a business that can generate $1 million, let's get on track for that. Right? If you find yourself hitting a ceiling somewhere, and we all do, even the biggest visionaries out there hit ceiling. Get immersed in a group that has a conversation and different ways to think about living bigger. Your life is how you imagine it. And then you become it. Just find the next ceiling. Just keep going, right? Okay. Also, you can apply for a scholarship. You can donate a scholarship. We've got a nice list of people who have donated because this activity has been kind of life-changing for them. If this is something that you're interested in, please do not let money stop you from getting here. We will figure out a way to get you there. And some of that figure out a way is getting in the game, right? So maybe we navigate or negotiate where you show up and you pay after with closed deals that you've generated from here. Lots of creativity on the table. Bottom line, what I want you to hear is we want you here because it will change your life. It's $7.99. For the whole session. Okay. And I still have 2 balloons in my office if people want a discount code. I believe there are substantial discounts. So if you haven't signed up yet, come see me.
Substantial like 25.
Well, I didn't like the 25. So I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing they might be a little bit more.
Reroll mine.
There's always opportunity to pour into your business. If bold is not your thing, again, I get it. But don't shortchange yourself. Really consider it before you put your hand down for that. We have no end of training for people to grow your business. Tomorrow, one of the things, well, actually this afternoon, one of the things I want to highlight is the 19th, right? Awesome, it's the 19th. For our new folks in the room, we have 3 amazing productivity coaches that pour into our new people on a regular basis, weekly. Zach Shipley, thank you for your time. James Krickeberg, thank you for your time. And Aletha Champagne, who is not in this room right now, but she runs our Thursday productivity. You guys, if you're one of those people who didn't inherently know the difference between a notice and an amendment, these are the people who tell you what the difference is and help you build your business. So as you're talking to people in your spheres, if they indicate an interest in getting into real estate, we've got an amazing group of people that will help them get into production. If you are new into production and you're in productivity and maybe you only go to the day class and you haven't experienced Zach or James or vice versa, come tonight. We're going to be introducing, it's a little bit of a social time to get together, build your tribe and go crush it out there. So 2 things to hear. If you're referring, there's a great place for them to land and grow. And if you're in the program, get to know everybody and grow your business. Okay. It is at 5:30.
I would just add that like the Monday night things, the Thursday morning things are still open to everybody. I mean, granted, there's some one-on-one stuff that might not be applicable to the business, but like eventually we end up having conversations that go deep and there's probably something you can learn no matter where you're at.
Absolutely. There's a great funnel up on the board earlier today that I erased. Yes.
I'll be happy to redraw it for anyone who wants to see it.
Awesome. Okay. So come, ooh, that's not what I want to do. Text still kills me, you guys. Okay, here we go. Nope. 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 We really want you to meet the coaches, you guys. I hope this, oh, there we go. Okay, and productivity this week, Aletha is going to be teaching. This month is the listing month. So come to week 2 of everything listing, where she dives deep into what the listing process is, what negotiations are, and also lead gen for listing. So I know I've talked to a handful of people who have said, you know, I've got great business, but I am so busy with buyers, I'd like to get more listings. This would also be a great place to come and learn about that. And then tomorrow, who was all here when Prime Lending social media marketing guru came and did a presentation for us? I've got a handful of hands going up. Good presentation.
So good. Excellent.
So good. Excellent. Yes. Rerun tomorrow. Same guy in this office tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So if your social media game looks like mine, come to this and it'll look so much better. Okay. He's amazing. What he can do on YouTube. That will not be on YouTube. That is a face-to-face thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to the last one and I've been to like a bajillion social things and it'll all tell you about what looks good and what feels good. And he like gives you stats and like information the entire time, unlike any other social media training. Like highly recommend.
Yeah. And here's a little nugget I took away from it that I've implemented. And it's the difference between the like button and the love button. You may see, as I see your posts popping up, I love them all. And I love all of you, but I don't necessarily love all your posts. But I'm going to love them because the love spreads it further in the algorithm than the like. Okay. So that's just the one takeaway. It's super easy to implement. If you see something and you want to share the love, literally share the love, and it'll go further. Yes, that is in here in person tomorrow. One of the other things that you all can implement, I see some people doing this from time to time. If you choose, certainly on a day like today, when we've got a room full, check in on social media here. What that does is bump that up in the algorithm, and everybody who's checked in to an event
Everybody in here too. Everybody that's here.
goes.
One person can you take it?
But not everyone.
Check in. I'm gonna just stop with check in. Just check in. And it gets you exposure, right? And one of the things that we talk about is we roll our event calendar out, as we roll calendars like this out, especially if you're new in business and you don't have a ton of business, the more you can lean on the things that are actively happening in the market center and around, the bigger your business looks. And it is your business. We are your team. There's nothing shady about this. What you're doing is sharing how active we all are, and you are a part of the we. So participate. Let's grow your business. Yeah, good. Love, share the love. Love it. Okay, the other thing that's happening tomorrow right before that is a new segment that y'all may be interested in. Coffee with a Capper. Our very own Mark Smith is going to be here sharing a bit of his journey tomorrow morning. And we're excited about that. So come and join us for Coffee with a Capper tomorrow morning up here.
You say it with like a Boston accent?
Coffee with a Kappa?
Coffee with a Kappa.
Coffee with a Kappa. I don't know if Bostonians think capping the same way we think capping. I'm just gonna leave that out there. And I love the family back there kind of chatting back and forth. And this capper happens to have a really strong family and team around them. So maybe they'll be there and you can ask questions of them as well. I'm not sure. One of them is busy unpacking a home, I think. Maybe. It's not looking up. We'll see. All right. All right, you guys, all of this, all of the training, all of the pieces that we put together to support you lead to businesses that are worth owning, part of our mission statement. We did have a really good August. I'm going to share August results. We're going to roll into that. It's my normal disclaimer, you guys. The business that you're building is the business you want. So if you were not actively pursuing being top of the boards and you don't see yourself here, it's okay. You're building the business that you want. You're putting those pieces in place. The other thing I want to share is if these people did it, you can too. It's why we share this, is to celebrate the people who are working really hard on this particular journey and having success in it. Okay, third caveat, these numbers are pulled from the MLS. So if you had somebody record something differently, if like you're on a team and somebody got recorded individually, the number may not be perfect. Let us know. We are happy to correct it. And then finally, this is a new one. If you're gonna share these results, which many of you I think should, they're fabulous. We've had a couple requests. If you could just post it on social, but maybe blur out the names and amounts of other people that are not you. Some people are not super comfortable with their amounts out on social media. Their clients maybe interact differently with that. So we want you to celebrate in all the right ways, and we want to celebrate you. Just be super mindful that other people are on these lists, okay?
Other offices like throughout the states just do photos of other people and like recognize them.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
For sure. For sure. Lots of different ways to share this, and we'd be happy to support that with you as you guys have ideas. So let us know. But let's dive into the numbers, shall we? Any bets? No? Okay, good. First capper in the house, Sarah Papp. Congratulations on capping. That. Cap in the house, Chris Russell in the back. Congratulations. Love it. And then top 15 gross commission income for the month of August. These are individuals. So Tammy, Carlos and Tammy, Nate Engels, Dan Bain, Jay Baumgartner, Nikki Couliard, John Ekstrom, Tony and Charisse, Gian Greco, Tiffany thank you. It's I knew it, kind of. Dan Callis, Sarah Papp, Brad Parent, Chris Ruskowitz, Joe Singsheim, and Jeff Nevin, Zach and Don Shipley, and Mark and Sheila Smith. So congratulations. Okay. $1 million month, you guys, this is huge. John Ekstrom, 2.175. Tony and Charisse, Brad Parent, Mark and Sheila Smith, Dan Bain, Joe and Jeff, Chris, Dan, Carlos and Tammy, Jay and Sarah, Jeremy and Scott, Nate Engels, Nikki, Zach and Don, James Krickeberg, and congratulations. Great work, everybody. Love it. Love it. Love it. Top close volume for individuals. John Ekstrom leading the month, 2.175. Katie Ninkovic. Katie, 1 million. Your name shows up over and over and over and over. Just super consistent. Love that. Sarah Papp, Sue Arnold. Congratulations, Dana Lasich. Congratulations. Oh, I love it. I see very downplayed. I love it. Congratulations. Love it. We're just gonna stay in, oh, there we go. Closed volume for team, Chris Ruskowitz Realty Group, 2.8, Reliance Realty Team, congratulations. Callis Real Estate, the A team, the Baumgartner Group, congratulations. Top closed volume. Love seeing that.
Gonna run in the house a minute.
PRN Group, Simplified Realty Team had an amazing month at 4 million. Congratulations. Mindright Realty is 2.5, Lifetime is 2.2. Mindright is
Okay, what?
Lifetime is 2.2. I just wanted to share
Because
a little
it's
conversation.
no big deal. I'm gonna,
Level Up and
it's
the
fine. I'm not, yeah, you're fine. I got one.
We're also doing.
Yes, 2 point, yes, correct.
we're
All
also
three.
conversation.
Okay, also in the conversation. Okay.
Love it.
All in, love it. Yes, level up. Let's go. Let's go, you guys. Love it. Okay. Top close volume year to date individual. This is year to date, you guys. All these people are in the conversation. I love it. Ben Murphy, 12.7. Katie Ninkovic, 12. Sarah's 5.5. Peter's 4.7 and Dana's 3.8. So great work. Team Reliance Real Estate, 11.9. I see Jeff's a little wiggly over there. Callis, 8.6. CGR's 8.5. Medina, 7.4. And the Baumgartner Group is 7. Congratulations. Okay. Group, Lifetime Realty Group is 22 million. Mindright is 16.5. Krickeberg Group is 15.3. Simplified Realty is 14.3. And the Schmidt Group is 13.3. Congratulations. Love it. Okay. Top closed units. One of the things we talk about, and you'll hear me over and over and over again, market determines your volume. You determine your units, right? You do. Ben Murphy, 33. Katie Ninkovic, 30.75. Right, so great. Sarah's 19, Nicole's 12. Congratulations. And Peter is 12. Team Reliance Real Estate is 34. Medina's 28. Callis Real Estate is 28. CGR is 20.6. And 1120 Real Estate, our very own assistant TL, sitting back there with 16. So congratulations on that. Group Lifetime Realty, 74. 74. Mindright, 57.55. Krickeberg Group, 53. Level Up, 46.25. And Team Ingalls, 42. Good work, everybody. Love it. All right. Top closed units. We're going to end the production on top closed units, right? Good, good. Are these all going to look the same next month? No? Who's going to run the table next month? Katie. Katie? Got Sosa in the back. I heard Krickeberg had an amazing month, so they might be coming up. All of these good things. All right, great work, you guys. Congratulations. Love it. Yay. Quick to end out, we're going to do a couple of the events that are coming up next day, tomorrow, Wednesday, the 20th at 11:30. There is a mini golf tournament by Nightberry Title. Opportunity Knocks. Who's heard of Opportunity Knocks? Handful of hands going up. You guys, Opportunity Knocks is an opportunity for our teams to network with people who may want to be on teams, right? So we're marketing that within our offices. We're also marketing it out in the world. We run some of the best real estate teams in the business. Rainmakers, as you're talking with people, I've encouraged them to ask really tough questions, bring your value props, right? And people who are considering teams, find a good fit if that's what you're looking for. This is a great opportunity to do that. Bring a friend, 4 to 6, great opportunity to get connected. And then trunk or treat. The next couple things are opportunities that we're hosting as a market center that you can invite your clients to. Zach is gonna stay a little bit after to share information on the trunk or treat event that's coming up that we'd love for you to partake in. It's gonna be super fun. And then Pi Day, because it's fall. I'm wearing a turtleneck. It's fall. Pie, holidays coming. November 18th, register here. We'll talk about that one too. And then, of course, there's a holiday party. Formal KW holiday party is December 1st. And as we put the calendar together, we're also planning with Lisa's help, a little bit of a market center gathering in December as well. So good. Good, because I think that's all I have for the day. Good. One last thought. I was close. Close. Thank you all to everybody who came to Quantum Leap on Friday last week. I see some of my team in here, some of my tribe. You guys, one of the things that we know is if you're going to succeed at a high level and you're on this journey, you're going to start thinking differently. This is a great way to plug in and feed yourself and your journey. Super excited to have a great room who ran a shakedown cruise with me on what can be a really foundational training for folks. We'll be running it again in December. It's going to be a quarterly event for us. I did get a handful of questions like, hey, I did an RSVP, can I come? Yes, come. Okay, we put the RSVP out so we can make sure we have a lunch order. It is never to stop people from attending. Okay, so please plan. We'll put the date out for the next one. It is for you, your family members, other people you know. It really is just a roadmap to think as big as you possibly can to feed your business, which in turn feeds your life. Okay, so thank y'all, Quantum Leapers, for taking the leap. And I think that is all I have. Anything else for the good of the group? Anybody? Pat Cotter, welcome. I think we're doing an official welcome next week, which is why I didn't say anything, but Pat, welcome. Welcome next week. So.
And I should be here.
You should be here next week. That's my trick. I'm gonna welcome all of you next week. So you gotta be here. All right. Well, I will release you to the wilds. Go crush it, you guys. Thank you.
If anybody wants to talk about Pi Day, stick around.
Stay for Pi Day.